Yo, what's going on, man? This is the Truth Serum, man. This is your boy Tru Stills. I'm with my man Big Shan. What's going on, bro?
Hey, brother, I'm here, man. How you been?
Hey, man, I'm doing good, bro. I can't complain. You know how I do it, man. Same
Absolutely.
shit, different toilet.
It is a different toilet. It is. Well, this one ain't got funky, bro. I was reading that the
Well, before you go into that,
because
cause I know you ready.
I'm like on the edge, ready. Continuing the conversation we had last night on the phone, man.
Yeah, because let's just say that conversation was crazy.
Absolutely.
It was, I mean, not crazy, but it was like informative. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
we
sir.
really chopped up some game, and it kind of inspired this whole podcast thing, really. And the True Serum, man, this is all, like I said, this is all black man affirmations. We talk a lot about everything that dealing with us black men, from us being the villains in society, for us being, the victims in this white supremacist society, and we talk about how we gonna navigate through everything. How we're gonna talk about relationships, women, everything, man. We ain't hiding nothing back on this thing, man. It's the Truth Serum. That's how we move.
I like that.
You feel me?
I like that.
You feel me?
I like it a lot.
But just to kick it off, because I know you about to go in, but just to kick it off, we over here, drinking on these grapes, but
Sweet red.
sweet red, but we gonna let y'all know that we sipping the finest of grapes here. We ain't gonna let you know what it is,
No,
but you know how it go.
Can't do that.
We might be having the '87 Margot. You don't know. You don't never know how we do it because we do it like that.
Yeah, that's
Now I'm
snuck
just
in a
talking
few
shit.
times. That's snuck in a few times.
But no, what we talked about in great length yesterday, and what the world been talking about over the last few days rather, is Nick Cannon, and his abrupt firing from it wasn't Fox. Which one was it? It was Viacom. By Viacom, of course, Viacom owns like a litany of stations: BET, MTV, and et cetera, so on and so on. But he got fired because of some comments that he made. From now, if you ain't been under a rock or nothing like that, you already know of his sentiments and what the white media is putting as they're putting it as anti-Semitic uh, views and messages that he, I guess, disseminated in his podcast when he was on the interview with Professor Griff.
Yeah.
And Professor Griff used to be part of the Public Enemy rap group, with Chuck D and Flavor Flav and a host of others, I believe. But yeah, so what we wanted to do is really get on topic with that, and of course some other things that's been going on in current news and some philosophies that we wanted to share with the people. We gonna keep it all the way 100. We ain't ducking nothing. We don't duck nothing. We with all smoke. So, Shane, like, what's on your mind, bro? Like, let's talk about what you, because you just recently looked up some stuff, man, and I wanted to know what your thoughts were. Like, what are you looking at right now?
Yeah, well, man, I was reading this comment CNN posted concerning Nick Cannon. In a tweet that he had, said that I hurt an entire community, and it pained me to my core. I thought it couldn't get any worse. Then I watched my own community turn on me and call me a sellout for apologizing. Good night, enjoy Earth. And then he continued, probably roughly 30 minutes later, y'all can have this planet, I'm out. I guess, man, I'm a little confused on how he's confused on why we call him sellout for apologizing to a so-called community. Because facts are coming out now, right? Because it's basically over the anti-Semitic comments or whatever that him and supposed anti-Semitic comments that him and Professor Griff had during their interview.
Right.
It's well known now that they are not the real Jews over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can't be anti-Semitic when we are the original Hebrews, right? When we are the original Jews.
Yeah, the original Jews of
right?
this nation. Yeah.
So if we've been confused all of these years and now we are coming to truth and to good knowledge, which is what Griff was talking about, you cannot be apologizing now to a so-called community. which is why they've been calling themselves Jewish. There's something about the ish. You've never been the real Jew.
It's a derivative, right? That's what I think of it as.
Absolutely. I think, man, the sellout part that he hears from us is of all the apologizing that's going on.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So in this era of time when the police brutality and stuff is going on, we ain't trying to apologize to no white man.
No.
Right? No white supremacists.
Nope.
No Jewish group.
Nope.
No group whatsoever.
Nope.
Right? And so whenever you do that with your platform, bro, we got a problem with that.
Huge problem.
So and I listened to that interview he did with Griffin. That wasn't nothing but truth. Like I said, man, I'm a fan of Nick Cannon. I like Nick Cannon.
Right.
But some of his ways, what we was talking about last night, we can piggyback off of that, is his money is still tied to the white supremacists. So he can talk with us, be with us, yet his money is still
with that community.
So he has to walk that tightrope still. That's why he has to apologize to that community, because we all well know that community controls the media. Right. In all aspects and entertainment. Right. So if you go in a little bit too hard, especially with an individual like Professor Griffin who keeps it 100,000. Ironically,
and his money, not to cut you off, but his money, Professor Griff, from what I know about him, his money's not tied in to any Jewish community, no other community outside of the black community.
None.
So when he's talking, he's gonna give his full honesty, because he's tied into the black community as a whole, not to any other community where Nick Cannon's his money, and as many other celebrities, black celebrities, their money is tied into the Jewish community or into another community that props them up as a figurehead in the media or a figurehead in entertainment. Period. And Nick Cannon is no different.
No different.
My thing with it is, and here's my thing with these black celebrities that are coming out and they are, I guess you could say, quote unquote woke, right?
Sure enough.
Is when they come out and they're starting to say things from the black conscious movement and this underground movement, this thing. I say underground, I use that term loosely, but underground meaning that it's an awakening movement. It's something that's grassroots. When it's something like that, and when you get certain black celebs that get to entering into that, which is a good thing, I believe, because it's always good that we awaken ourselves and we awaken, what our consciousness is. But I do want them to know that, when you jump in this feet first or head first or whatever, like, understand what you're getting yourself into. Understand, that you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. There is no 1 foot in, 1 foot out situation. And I know Tariq Nasheed has came out and, he's publicly, agreed with Nick Cannon that he has to play the game a little bit, which I understand that. I understand him playing the game, but he was supposed to play the game a long time ago. And here's the thing, like, when you're talking about black consciousness, and you can't duck and weave black consciousness. Either you are or you're not. It's an A or F thing. You either pass or fail. It's not anything that you can just play around with. And with these black entertainers like Nick Cannon, with their money tied to a lot of these entities and stuff like that, my issue with them is you poked and prod the bear, in your industry and in that community like that, they're gonna come back at you. And they're gonna come back at you hard. And they're gonna come back, and they're not gonna attack you physically, so to speak. They're gonna attack your pockets.
Right.
And he needed to be more knowledgeable about the devils he was playing with from the get-go. And not do this apologizing shit. You apologize once, that's it. But all this apology tour that he doing, like, that shit is unnecessary. And the reason why he's getting backlash from the black community is because, bro, we already knew this. We already knew. And what happens is a lot of these black entertainers, like I said, they dictate to us like they're the bosses. Like, oh, I'm a boss, and this is why I do this better than you, or I can talk this way and you can't, and I know I have a seat at the table and all of this stuff like that. They do this stuff to us. However, they are beholden to the Jewish community, right? And what we're hearing and what we're seeing more so than them being awakened is more so their frustrations with knowing that. And I think that's what Nick Cannon, as well as a host of other black celebs that have come out with what the white media considers white Semitic comments or white anti-Semitic comments or whatever. I think what it is them having that frustration and knowing that they're not tied to our community like that.
Right.
Their money is tied to the Jewish community. Yeah. And if you're going to have platforms when you're going to speak the real and say real shit, then you got to be able to come out and you got to put your money where your mouth is in our community. You can't just go to other communities and set up shop and then dictate to us about what we need to be and vis-a-vis. And then you go to their communities and it's all yes, sir, no, ma'am. That's really what it came down to. So, and you think of yourself like a boss, but really you're a high-class worker. And that's what we're dealing with today is a bunch of high-class workers.
Right.
Yo, Nick Cannons, Jay-Z's. These guys are high-class workers. Yeah, they may own certain things, but their things are all tied into Jewish rule.
Right.
All of their things are tied into Jewish rule.
That flows into, that's why Viacom released a statement to CNN saying, and we've spoken with Nick Cannon about the episode that he did on one of his podcasts called Cannon's Class on YouTube,
right,
which promoted hateful speech and spread anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. Does that make any sense whatsoever, bro?
No.
If you listen to that interview,
no.
There was no hateful speech.
No.
And there was no, what do they call, spread of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. That's not a conspiracy theory. They are not the Semitic people.
But here's the thing, though. They know this.
They know it. That's why they put out a statement.
They know this, though. But the thing is, they may know it, right?
Yeah.
But it's the old adage, what do they call it? In the land of the blind, the man with one eye is the king, right? So they hold the cards,
yes, sir,
to Nick Cannon's future, right? So when they hold the cards to Nick Cannon's future, and he goes out and about saying things off the beaten path of what they think he should be, then he's picking and prodding at the bear being Viacom, the bear being the Jewish people that own Viacom.
Yep.
So he's picking and prodding the bear.
He did it too much, too hard, too fast with the wrong one.
But he did it too much, too fast without any resources within the black community.
Here's the thing: he did an interview with Tariq Nasheed.
Mm-hmm.
There was no kickback from that. As a matter of fact, it was an informative interview, right? They kicked back some truth. Tariq was definitely holding it down,
right?
And Nick as well had questions and holding it down as well.
Right.
When he had that interview with Professor Griff, that's when all hell broke loose. Right. This is what he's getting now. And if you go back, Professor Griff says, "Man, I commend you for even giving me an interview. Because after this, you're gonna see what's gonna happen."
Yeah.
His exact words.
Yeah.
And as we see now, it's crumbling down.
And
he got rid of that whole show.
Oh yeah. I think Griff already seen what it would be.
Because Griff know who he is.
And he let Nick talk.
He let him talk.
Because, and I know the reason why he let him talk. He wanted to see if he was strong enough to handle what he was saying. He wanted to see if he was strong enough to handle what he's saying. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, when, certain people say these things and they got that talk about them, right? And they know the lingo, they know the language. They speak in our language. They know what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that they've read or they've studied somewhere. But one thing about us is if you're not walking with what you're talking with, then a lot of times it's gonna show. It's gonna show. If you ain't walking like how you talking, it's gonna show. And Nick Cannon, he talked himself to an apology to his beholders. He talked himself into an apology with his beholders.
Bruh, that's what flipped the switch with us as a community.
Yeah.
Right? Don't have an interview with truth, right? I.e. Professor Griff.
Right.
About knowing now who are the true Hebrew Israelites. Right? And then going back, not only that, I think you probably made a comment like, we are the true Hebrews. You can't say that and then revert back to apologizing to those who are not the real Jews.
Exactly.
Right? And saying, hey, I offended the whole community. What community? They white folks.
Yeah.
Right?
And black people don't go about talking about Jews. We don't go about talking about Jews.
We don't do
Jewish community, the Irish community, the Italian community, all of them communities is the same to us. They all white folks. They white folks. We wouldn't know you Jewish unless you was to tell us. We wouldn't know you was Italian unless we heard your last name or something. Yeah. But more than likely, we wouldn't know until you told us. We look at you like white folks. So we don't go around. There's this sentiment or this thing going around in the white media today thinking that there's some type of issue with black people and Jewish people. And there's no issues with black people and Jewish people other than Jewish people being leeches onto the black community, exploiting us for material gain, and also what they've done in Hollywood. We're going to act like Walt Disney didn't exist?
Come on, brother.
We're going to act like he didn't exist? All them minstrel shows. Then his first film, or one of his first films on Walt Disney, a lot of people already know about it, is it was something dealing with the Confederacy. It was a Confederacy type of movie with a dog cartoon and all of that. I think it's called The Way of the South or something like that. And that was a huge racial movie, huge racist movie. And it got vaulted by Walt Disney. Of course, it never came out again, but that's one of the biggest racist movies that they've ever came out with.
Yeah, Dumbo and a couple of
others. And he hated black people. There were Jewish slave owners in America.
Yeah.
Jewish slave owners in America. We're not going to even get on the many people that are real estate developers that hold, contracts from black people from living in certain areas just because they're black. We're not going to even get on that. That's a whole nother thing. Come on. Come on now.
That's a lot that goes into that, man.
Yeah.
That goes into like...
you going to say there's no Jewish people in the KKK? We really want to do that? If we peel back the layers and we had them, if they had to be exposed, we're going to say there's no Jewish people that are KKK?
Who's my man that funded the Black Lives Matter?
That would be George Soros. Yeah.
Who, if I'm not mistaken, is aligned with the quote-unquote Jewish community.
I believe so. I don't know if he's even Jewish. I think he's isn't he Iranian or something?
Yeah, but when I say aligned, that's what I mean. There's some strong ties.
Strong ties, right.
They walk hand in hand with that. And that's when I feel like you put a slogan there, and I know we're switching up subjects or whatever real quick.
Right.
But that Black Lives Matter thing, we'll get to that. But let me pick back off of Nick Cannon. What was my man that we was talking about? Billionaire. What's my man? Black brother. What is his name? He was talking about him.
Did he own BET?
Yeah.
But I want to say
Byron Allen.
Byron Allen. No. So what Weather Channel?
BET,
Weather Channel. Yep.
Byron Allen. We got on Byron Allen last night.
We did. We talked in great length about him.
So with Byron Allen, another good brother.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Nick.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some of his ways are questionable.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not shocking to see one of our own be with the white folks and then hop over to us when they need help, only to hop back over the fence and play the game whenever they get what they need, right? As far as support and money. That's primarily what we're talking about. Whenever he was on the Breakfast Club, he was speaking about his situation and about them trying to implement some law or not law or what was it? I had to do a little bit more research, but in general, what he was doing was gaining support with the black community because he knows primarily the black community listened to the Breakfast Club about his situation. Because if he didn't do that, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't even know about his situation.
Now, he was suing, I want to say Comcast, right?
He was.
I wonder what he was suing for.
But let's say if
I can
you
look
didn't
that
see
up, though.
Did you know about it before he hit the Breakfast Club?
No, I knew that he had bought. Let's just say I knew that he had bought the Weather Channel.
I knew he had money.
And I knew he had some money.
I knew he
that
had a few things.
They were saying he was a comedian. I was like, I ain't never heard no stand-up from that nigga.
Never heard one.
That's a whole nother topic in itself, though. A lot of these people are branding themselves. A lot of these right-wingers are branding themselves as comedians. And I want. There's a
that could stem from Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
Right. That whole line, because Dick Gregory was the only real brother that came out of that.
But I'm seeing a lot of Republican, like a lot of these black dudes who come out and they say this stuff about, they coons or whatever, but they saying stuff about the black community on behalf of Trump, and they're huge, staunch Trump supporters. They're coming off. They claim that they're comedians, that they're actually like comedians out here. Like I wonder what the shtick is with that. I guess it's to say things in jest, so people don't take them all the way serious, so that they don't get enough backlash, but they still receive the backlash. But that's a whole nother topic. But back to the Byron Allen thing. Let me see. I remember Byron Allen suing Comcast. I think he lost the lawsuit though.
Did he?
I think.
I thought he won.
I don't think he won.
Been a settlement. I think it was a settlement. I think they settled.
Oh, so they settled.
I think they settled on that. And now you don't hear nothing from him. Right? Complete silence. There's no coming back, reaffirming, hey guys, because of your support, this is what happened. They settled with me, and now we can take this to a whole nother level. Now we ain't heard nothing yet.
Okay.
And I doubt that we will. I ain't putting my brother down, but I'm like, with Umar Johnson had questions about him during his interview again on the Breakfast Club. Speaking, he said, look, I don't have anything against him. He said, but what I would like to do is kind of dig into his board of directors or whatever. Right. His management.
Right.
How he managed. How many black folks has he hired? How many people of color, that not just specifically of color, black folk, that he has put in positions to exceed and excel? How much money has he, given back to the black community?
Yeah.
And not just brown or minority community or whatever. Because you already know that's a trick word. Been taught that. So that's another questionable move that I'm going to be pondering on.
And we was saying that, if let's just say he didn't, produce anything, like I haven't seen the Weather Channel, and I don't know what he's doing exactly. Like, what
is he doing? Where did he come from?
Where did he come from? And I'm like, so here's my thing with Byron Allen, right? Is, I'm not seeing any projects. I'm not seeing any, like, where is he getting this money to really, like, not to pocket watch. I ain't pocket watching nobody, but like, where if I buy something, right? If I buy it, if it's mine, I buy it. Something like the Weather Channel or whatever. Yeah. I own it. Yeah. Right? I can do what the hell I want to do with it.
You can do what you want to do with it.
I can do what I want to do with it. If I want to put up if I want to make a whole broadcast about Mortal Kombat.
Darn right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I want a whole broadcast about Mortal Kombat, ins and outs. Every day we talking about Mortal Kombat characters, everything. That's what I want to do with it. Right?
Yeah.
Why he ain't doing nothing with it? He ain't did nothing with it. I ain't seen no crew.
Nothing.
I ain't seen no all black crews, no all black writers. I don't know what's going on.
I don't have a clue.
One thing I do know that's going on is that he married to a white woman.
You understand?
You feel me?
You understand now?
I know he married to a white woman.
And I guarantee.
I know he in that lawsuit.
When he gone, she get that money.
I know that. You feel me? Or that money was already hers. You feel me? I ain't heard nothing from Byron Allen. Like, where is he at?
I heard nothing.
Because there was a lot of talk for people talking about, this is a black American, African American milestone and landmark. Byron Allen bought the Weather Channel. He's a billionaire. He's a comedian. You heard all these grandiose things. Yeah. I ain't heard nothing from Byron Allen since.
Nothing.
Now, I know he been on Breakfast Club, but that's just an interview. Everybody be giving him interviews on that motherfucker. I'm talking about, like, what has he done?
That's a political move when he did that. That's what I'm saying. As a black community, We knew nothing about Byron Allen.
Knew
I'm
nothing
talking about us on the grassroots level. Like, hey, bro, all right, we know a little bit about you, but then when you needed some help, you want to reach back into your
our
own
community.
People and say, hey, y'all,
that
this
all
what's
ties
going
back.
on.
Big,
and we could be like,
Big
okay.
Shan, that's all. This all ties back into what I was saying about high class workers. High class workers.
Talk about that.
They dictate to us what we need to be supporting, what we need to protect. We need to protect Nick Cannon. We need to protect Byron Allen. We need to protect these dudes, right? Yeah. We had to protect them, but what are we protecting them from, and what are we protecting them for? If you're not giving adamant resources to the black community, and you're not adding anything to the black community that is going to help us, other than cheap talk, other than cheap talk or documentaries, of course, there's certain black filmmakers out there, who doing documentary. But I'm talking about something better than that. I'm talking about how do we not have an equivalent to YouTube yet? How do we not have an equivalent to these social media programs? Why is Twitter the go-to? Why is
that?
Why is Instagram the go-to?
Every time you see the CEO, they're either white or Asian.
Yes. That's all we seeing. I'm like, wow, we can't come up with that? We ain't smart enough for that? We don't got enough bread for that? All these millionaire niggas, Nick Cannon a millionaire nigga. Jay-Z a millionaire nigga. Rick Ross a millionaire nigga. Like, all these millionaires.
So-called Kanye West.
Kanye West. Didn't he just do a new deal with The Gap, right?
You understand what we're talking about?
You feel what I'm saying?
Yo, bro, there's a brother that I heard about in Flint, Michigan. He was hearing about the water situation.
Right.
We all know it's been going on for years.
Yeah.
Poison the water. It's undrinkable.
Yep.
And that's actually still going on.
Which is going? Yeah, I was about to say, which is still going on in Flint, by the way.
And so there's this black brother who went up there and said, all right, I got something to solve that.
Right.
So what he did was he took a machine that he created up there and was giving away gallons of water at a time. Right? What he was doing was creating water out of air. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
He created a machine.
Like a precipitation machine.
That took the precipitation out of the air through the machine and created water. Basically recreating the cycle that, whenever it rains, it goes into the water and the flow in the ground or whatever, and then the sun pulls it up through the air, and it's just a cycle, right?
Right.
He did that through his machine he made, and what they did was he said the FBI came by and destroyed it.
What?
These are his words. He was like, there was somebody, he said after they got wind, he did an interview on TV.
Right.
And right after that, he said he didn't have to lock up none of his stuff, prior to that.
Right.
And what he was doing was commendable and this, that, and the other. Bro, he needed some award, right? The Nobel, I ain't gonna say Nobel Peace Prize, but something to create, somebody that created such a machine that would bring gallons of water to a community that was in need of it. So anyway, long story short, he caught somebody destroying his machine. And he said it wasn't just like somebody beat on the machine. It was somebody who knew exactly how the machine worked, because they didn't just bang on the machine. They went inside
and disfigured it.
And disfigured the wires and this, that, and the other, so that he had to spend way more time and money putting it back together. He was like, somebody knew what they were doing. So it wasn't like, and then come to find out, I think he said that he highly suspected that it was the FBI or CIA, some governmental agency.
What made him suspect them?
I'll be honest with you, I got to go back and listen to the interview in depth, but I don't think he gave a lot of in-depth info, but he was pretty convinced that it was them. I don't know. What I do know is that would be nothing new for us, right? No. And I only say all of that to say that we have geniuses out here doing big things, right? But you ain't gonna hear about us.
You feel me?
You ain't gonna hear it.
If
it has anything to do with uplifting the black community, forget about it.
Oh yeah, that's by far. I mean, there's so many great black inventors that couldn't get patents on their stuff because, they were held out of that whole thing about getting patents, and white people would just take take credit for their inventions.
Bro, I'm convinced 90% of the things that we have today, black folks invented. 10% I'm gonna give to the white folk.
Oh yeah, this technology shit, like computer stuff and this internet stuff, this is their thing.
Internet was invented by a black man.
But I was about to say, internet was invented by a black man. But
he needed what?
We can go there's a litany of different things that we've invented, created, made. I mean, that all ties into the reparations thing.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What? Hey. So we spoke about that as well.
Yeah, we did.
Have you told the good people about what your plan was?
What my plan was? Man, you know what? I didn't tell the people.
All right, you keep it to yourself.
My first podcast that I did for the Tru Serum, I was flagged because I had the music. I guess the music wasn't I didn't have the license to the music. It was just a rookie mistake, simple faux pas. But that first podcast or whatever, I'm definitely will get up for the people so everybody know what that is. It's crazy because back to the reparations thing. It's like I thought about in great length like what I wanted to say. What would reparations look like if black people were to if we came together, to codify like what we wanted specifically, what we needed specifically more so than what we wanted, but what we needed specifically.
Sure. And
we all know, when we speak in reparations, we're not talking about, ominous bills getting passed or laws getting passed. We're talking about, and no minority talk and POC talk. But we're talking more so tangible type items. Sure. And we're talking about flat out, just say it was money. We're talking about money. We're talking about real cash that is owed to us. Not that you're giving us, but that is owed to the black people in America. Right? And I always theorize or wonder in my own mind, like, what does that look like? Like, what do you ask for? What does that look like? And what would make sense for our community as a whole? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would make sense and what we actually would need for us to bridge the wealth gap, the employment gap, the power gap, really, because if we're the ones that have made this nation, and Donald Trump has said this already. He already has acknowledged that black people have built this nation. And if this is so, then a good majority of this nation is ours. So it's only right that all of it is, but a good majority of it is our nation. So I'm a negotiating man. I'm a businessman. I'm a negotiator. I'm willing to negotiate. I'm willing for us to sit down at a table. I'm willing for black people to really call up, man. Call up. TruStills@gmail.com. Hit me up. Let me know what you think we need. And you can let me know in regards to the Tru Serum, what we about to talk about as far as reparations today. And let me know what y'all think about, reparations and what we need as a community, and what you think we need to add to this list. It's a rough draft, you know what I'm saying? But I thought about it in my own mind, like what reparations would look like today for our community, for the black community. I wrote them down probably I think it was 5 of them, maybe 4 or 5, but they were all tentative as far as they weren't all exact. But I would say that let me just go into it. It's the reparation. All right, so reparations 1, and just being specific on what they look like, is $500K every 10 years. I thought that was something that the black community, so everybody would get $500K. So if you're married, your wife would have or your wife or husband would get $500K. You would have your own personal $500K. Your children, based on how many children you had, would all have $500K for every 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. The next reparation, part two of that, would be free education, daycare through college, right?
Yep.
Free education, daycare through college, and I am including grad school. But yeah, so that's reparations 2. Reparations 3, our own states with sovereignty. Sovereignty. You know, from European rule, from American white American rule, meaning that your police have no jurisdiction in the states of our choosing. Not to say that in our states, and I'll run down verbatim all of the reparations and everything, but this one is specifically not that all our states, black people can only be the only ones living in it. There can be other nations or other races living in our in the states that are predominantly black and that we run. However, they will pay taxes to the black community, meaning if you set up shop, if you own a business there, if you do trade with us, if you open a restaurant, whatever it is, there is tithes you have to pay and a toll. A toll when you go into any one of those states that you have to pay to these states, whatever, and these predominantly black states that are owned by us. So, what are the states, which everybody would want to know, that we receive sovereignty in? And why? Why is the big question. Are these the states? Right? Why? That is something I had to go into myself and figure out, like, why these particular states, other than me loving them or liking them or whatever the case may be. So I'll go down the list. I have Georgia. I have Louisiana. I had the DMV. I'm open to just DC and Maryland. Virginia can be its own, Commonwealth. I'm good. South California, Southern California, Jersey, New Jersey, Michigan, Florida, Pennsylvania, and the Carolinas. Ow! Ow! Wow. Now that's big right there. You know what I'm saying? Florida, I know is going to be a stretch. As much as you redneck motherfuckers love you some Florida.
Most of them down there. You know
Most of them down there. You feel me? But Florida should be ours. Main reason, it's closer to Jamaica, it's closer to Haiti, it's closer to the West Indies, closer to the South America area where we may want to do trade and things like that. Also, when it comes to, we need some places in the Northeast. Jersey and Pennsylvania seem to be big spots. As far as, you talk about the main lines with trains and borders and things like that. Those type of things, I would say Jersey and Pennsylvania, definitely to do trade as well through there. Those would be job seekers for the black community off top. You know what I'm saying? Louisiana was already ours. Georgia, already ours. Michigan, I wanted to make sure that we get Michigan. Why? Michigan, because I believe that we would be able to do a better system and trade system and also just a partnering system with Canada. I think Michigan is very close to Canada. And I think to have something right there in that northern Midwestern area, if you want to call it that, to have something there would be grand for the Midwest, just to have a Midwest state all our own as well. The Carolinas, also ours. Like I said, I'm open to giving up Virginia and taking away the Virginia and letting it just be the DM instead of the DMV. Maryland, of course, is a place where there's a lot of like black wealth in Maryland. It's probably like top 3 or top 5, I believe, as far as black people having wealth and things like that. I think that keeping that pure to the black man, or and when I say black man, I'll do mankind. So women don't do the separatist thing. You know how that go. I'm like, what about the women? I don't want to do all of that. Black man is black mankind. I'll definitely differentiate between the two if need be. But black man the DMV or the DM rather is definitely been good for us as far as having government jobs, as far as just basically wealth in America. That's you look at places like Prince George's, Maryland is probably one of the wealthier states and whatnot, or wealthier cities or whatever in counties rather in Maryland.
PG County.
PG County. Shout out to my PG County people, man. Love them. What else did I have?
Southern Cal.
Southern California. That's gonna be controversial.
I don't know if we're gonna get that, bro.
I don't know if we gonna. I mean, you people gonna debate that. I don't know if we gonna get Southern Cal or Florida, but you throw it in there.
Look, I'll be honest with you.
Give us if y'all want Texas, if y'all keep Texas, you gotta give up one. You can't have both big ones.
Both of them.
You can't have both of them now.
I'll be honest with you. Excuse me. Bro, we are such innovators. We could take a state like Mississippi and turn that mug around.
Yeah.
And make it look like Southern Cal.
Now they can have Mississippi.
I'm trying to tell you.
Mississippi, goddamn. I don't want to do it.
Right. It has a bad connotation to it.
Man.
What I'm saying is we are such innovators in that way.
Oh, I got something to ask you after that. Go ahead. Go ahead.
We can turn any spot around and make it a haven of a place to come visit, come see, come go.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't care what state you give us. It does not matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
Give us something.
It do matter, man, because you don't want to be in North Dakota.
Bro, we're not going to do that.
We ain't doing the Dakotas.
Give us something reasonable, right? Because reasonable, in my opinion.
I gave us the sunny states.
In my
mostly.
Opinion, is more likely in the southeast, right?
Okay.
And in my own personal opinion, that I think you could kind of reach out there and give up.
Okay.
Without having a whole lot of pushback.
Right.
But when you start reaching up into that northeast and then that west coast,
you
might get a little bit more pushback than that.
Oh yeah, but so we ain't asked for New York now.
I feel like Philly when they start Philly and Jersey. But
I mean,
I'm like, hey, give us one or two states in the Midwest.
You gotta give us a northeast connection. You gotta give us a south. You gotta give us a Midwest, and you gotta give us a western one.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If not Southern California, then what about Nevada?
I'd rather have Southern California. Man.
I'd rather have Southern Cal. I love Las Vegas.
That's something I can think of.
What about Nevada? Bro. If we can't get Southern Cal, we got to get.
We don't mind the sun, but that's too much sun. That's too much desert.
That's too much desert.
It's too much desert.
Too much desert. I like the desert. I'm one of the few black folks that like the desert.
I'm like, hey, that's a part of the desert. There's a reason why they haven't developed more than Las Vegas out there. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I think we thrive in places near water, with trees, and with good seasonal weather.
Okay.
Right? Mostly sunny.
Okay.
So in any spots like that, I'm down for it. But I think you may have a little pushback. What was your question going to be about?
My question was to you. This is like a philosophical question. I want everybody, after you hear the broadcast, email me at Tru Stills. That is TrueStills. Don't quote me on that because I have to look that up again.
Yeah, brother.
But I believe that is what it is.
It's with the S, not a Z.
Nah, not with the Z. I should have did it with the Z. That would have made it more Tupacian. But that's one. That's one of one too. Tupacian is one of one. Don't steal. But no, my email address is TruStills50. TrueStills 50. The number 50 at gmail.com. And I want people to hit me back. Reply to this question here I'm about to ask Big Shan.
Come on.
So, Big, I wanted to ask you this, bro. Should we, and this is regards to Reparations 3, should we own the states that we were enslaved in? Now, that's a double-edged sword because there's quite a bit of states we were enslaved in, if not all, right? Yeah. But there remain states. Should we own the states that we were enslaved in.
What do you mean by own?
Own just like the reparations
So
three
states.
Sovereignty,
right?
Sovereignty and everything.
Without question. Without question. I don't even see that as being an issue, to be honest with you. To an extent, we own them now. They having a lot of pushback.
The problem with that is we own them, but we don't own them.
Without question, right? We own the U.S., but we don't own the U.S.
You feel me?
Yeah. So it goes without saying.
Our influence is heavy. What we've done.
Take all the black folk out, bro. Yeah. You got nothing.
You got nothing.
Right?
Right.
Even if you took, like, the majority of black folk in Georgia live in Atlanta. Right?
Facts, or the greater Atlanta area. But
great. When I say Atlanta, I mean metropolitan.
Yeah. Right.
If you take us out,
right,
there's no flavor in Georgia, bro.
No.
Right?
The economy won't thrive without that. The
economy does not thrive.
You look at
all the black folk out of it.
You look at any
we own
all predominantly white areas, your Connecticut's, your Maines, Dakotas. You can look at any of them.
Washington, something.
Their economies are shit. Their local economies are shit.
Bro, we spend.
We spend. We consume. We build the economy.
It's like our blessing and curse, to be honest with you.
It's a curse. It's really a curse because we're spending out of pain, trying to feel pleasure. But that's a whole other topic for another day.
It is.
But the fact of the matter is, when you look at these all-white economies, they don't flourish.
No, they don't.
You can go to Connecticut right now and see how it looks. It's nothing. It's a pass-through state. Look at West Virginia. West Virginia. The many brothers and cousins that married up in that motherfucker. Indiana.
And listen, we can go through many states, but just like you were saying, though, if you take us out of any state, take all the black folk out of that particular state, I promise you, what you will see is a decline in economics.
Oh, yeah.
Spending and everything.
By far.
They depend on us on all levels, in all aspects.
By far.
That's why we're the flavor. We not only do we bring money there, we bring entertainment.
We are the heartbeat.
We are the heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want us to go anywhere. They can speak all that if they want to.
Yeah.
But in actuality, they don't want us to go anywhere, which is why they're not talking about reparations in the form of money.
Mm.
Right? We can't give them money because if we give them money, they're going to leave.
That's what they think.
I think that's what they know.
That's what they think. But they in reparations are all tangible. And I'm gonna get back to my list because I believe I got two more. But the thing is, we won't leave America. Some will, but we won't leave America. But America will be ran differently. I think they're more in fear of that than what they're accustomed to. Because then it forces white supremacy to look at us at eye level. They can no longer look beneath us. They can never look at us below us, or rather. They can never look down on us, rather. They can never look down on us. They had to look at us at eye level now. Now we're leveled up with the white supremacists. So they have no more backbone. They have no more hiding behind laws, hiding behind their governments, hiding behind the police. That's why, they don't want to give up reparations, because if the wealth gap is bridged, you can just consider it done that black people are going to take it over, are going to dominate in full, tenfold. If the wealth gap is bridged, if we somehow meet white men here, black men here, and we meet at a head, at eye level.
We'll never see that.
But it's just so if they fear that, if they think that and they fear that, that is what is holding up reparations right now. White supremacy is holding up reparations right now. Let's just, and I'm not getting off topic, and I will be getting back to my reparations top 5, but there's this myth in our community that, or not in our community and outside of it, white people community and everything, that black people are afraid of the police. Black man is not afraid of the police. We are not afraid of no cop. No. Well, we're not afraid of no judge, no jurisdiction, none of that stuff. No juris system, rather, none of that stuff. What we're afraid of are the laws that protect you from us having any justice. That's what we're afraid of. Meaning, if you kill us, if you assault us, if you rush up in our homes and shoot us, and we protect ourselves, or we attempt to protect ourselves, we fear that we won't get our just due in court. We fear that we will be going automatically in prison and that we're going to be looked at as just regular old inmates. That's what we fear. And that is white supremacy. The other part of white supremacy is deception. It's deception when you make us follow laws that you don't follow, that you operate with impunity on, against us. That's what we fear. Okay. We fear the white supremacist system that governs you, that shields you.
I'd also add that we fear the number behind the shield, right? I could see a cop or two or three of them. I'm not scared at all. What I fear is the number behind that, right? I know if I mess with y'all two and I do what I need to do, there
a whole nother fleet.
There's a whole nother mass of cops with laws backing them, which goes into what you were saying, right? But it's when you see one, what you see is a force.
But if the laws were in our, I won't even say in our favor, if they were just correct, let's just say they were just equal laws, and police were being prosecuted and charged and sentenced hard time for killing just a regular person, right? Yeah. They would think twice about killing us. They would think twice before even pulling a trigger, putting knees on necks, doing anything like group beatings and things like that. Right. They would think twice about all of that shit if they were the ones that had to adhere to the laws. But being that we have white supremacists that are running this nation and that are running the laws and setting them forth and creating them, which are the police and these judges and everything like that, they are able to operate with impunity, meaning they can give out harsh sentences on light terms, meaning that they can beat you, kill you, walk up in your home, do all kind of nonsense and just operate with impunity. They can do that. They can do that if they want to because they're protected by a white supremacist law system. Now, everybody already knows Nick Cannon is getting fired and Jada Pinkett cheating on Will Smith and all of this stuff. These are all, and the NBA coming back at half speed. All of these things are pacifying things to neglect the fact that Breonna Taylor is still not getting justice. And not just Breonna Taylor, by the way. There's a slew of others. There's so many I don't even want to name. It's that disgusting.
We ain't even counting the ones that the abortion.
We're not even counting that. We're not going to even.
They perpetrate. It's a lot.
So when we think of reparations, I challenge you, black people. Do not think of what they are giving you or what they're going to give or what they're not going to go for.
Hold on, real quick though.
Go ahead, man.
The reparations. Yeah. We also mentioned this, the one that they're doing in Asheville, North Carolina.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that one. All right. We're going to get that because we got to break that and unpack that one. Yeah. But I want to finish this list because I want people to respond. I want people to respond to the list. Yeah, we back on here, man. We drinking grapes. You drinking them grapes. You feel me? Yeah, cool. 87 Margaux for all of y'all that want to know. No, we ain't drinking no Margaux. But here we go. So I left at Reparations 3. I'll restate it right quick. With our own states with sovereignty from white supremacist rule, which we know as their jurisdiction with their police and their judges and things like that. Sovereignty from them. As if we're the Vatican. If you know about the Vatican, Vatican is his own entity, his own state.
It is.
Within your.
Yeah.
So that's a whole nother thing. But those states were Georgia, Louisiana, the DMV tentatively, Southern California or Nevada, Jersey, Michigan, Florida, Pennsylvania, and the Carolinas, South and North Carolina.
Sound like a lot of states, bro.
Oh yeah, but it's worth it, baby. It's worth it, baby. All right, so Reparations 4. 1 trillion to our own military. 1 trillion to our own military.
I'm in favor of that, but I don't believe they would do that.
See, that's why we got to get out that mindset, brother.
They wouldn't do
we got to get out that mindset.
You wouldn't supply your enemy with funds to fight.
We're not your enemy.
Bruh, that's how they
we're not.
See you.
Well, we're not their enemy.
That's what we know.
You know what black people are? We are the protector of America.
We're in a war right now. We're the enemy.
But we are the protector of America. We're not the enemy.
I know we're not the enemy.
We're not the enemy. We are the protector and the preserver of America. We are the purest of of America. You see, when people look at patriotism, y'all look at it from a bigoted point of view. I'm not gonna say most white people. White supremacists look at it from a bigoted point of view, a racist point of view. So when they look at it from a racist point of view, that's what they think of patriotism. They look at it as, standing for the flag, and we're going to kill towel heads, and we're going to kill, and certain niggers are not, the Confederate flag. And they look at it from that point of view. They look at it from a bigoted point of view. When we think of patriotism, we're thinking about us fighting in every world war, us building this nation, us building Wall Street, us building the White House, us actually protecting this nation, fighting for this nation, working for them for free, all of that. We are the patriots of this nation. We are the true patriots of this nation.
The black patriots, bro. Did you see that?
The black patriots. You hear me?
You understand?
You feel me? That's a whole nother. Wow. That's dope. But no, 1 trillion to our own military.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's why.
Why you don't think that'll work, man?
Because man, they will forever see us as the enemy. Right? We are their nemesis. We are their stronghold, right?
We're not their enemy, though.
That's what we know. They don't understand that, though they do. It's almost a conundrum. They understand the thing that they don't understand.
What you're saying is I think what you're trying to say, correct me if I'm wrong, is that white people live in fear that they'll be dominated.
No.
If we're given the power, they'll live in fear that they're dominated. Let me break that down.
Yeah, go ahead.
They live in fear, like you just said. They know we're not the enemy, or they think we're the enemy, but they know we're not. You said that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's them having the frustration and you could say curiosity, if you will, of trying to understand where black man fits on this food chain and where we are on the totem pole. So what they think of us is basically, are they gonna get us out of America? Are they gonna kill us? Are they gonna, if the shoe's on the other foot, are they gonna hang us and do the things that we did to them? That is a thought. That is white guilt. I'm trying to look at this out the context of white guilt. I don't want to look at this as white guilt and racism, because what we're trying to do is correct that. So if you want to correct it, then these are the things we need to do to correct it. These are just the things we need to do to correct it. Otherwise, we're going to continue to have these issues in America.
Here's the thing.
This is how you negotiate with people.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing. It's uncorrectable, right? They are. It's not because of us. It's because of their unwillingness to want to see and be fair about a thing. Just a little bit over 75 years ago, we know people over 75 years. We had to fight to prove that we were human beings.
Right.
The thing that I heard Umar Johnson, I was like, oh, he had a great point.
Uh-huh.
They looked at us as being dogs.
Right.
Beneath the beneath.
Right.
If, let's say, you had a friend of yours, a cousin of yours, somebody you knew, and they kept dogging you.
Right.
They were bigger than you. They were stronger than you.
Right.
And they controlled your mindset, right?
Right.
To make you think that you were subservient to them. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you like, sir, please stop beating on me. Man, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
They smack you.
Right.
You get up again. Listen, all I want is for you to be fair. Shut up.
Right.
Right? So much of that, then you rise up. Your face get all scrunched up and you get hot and angry.
Right.
Then they say, oh, shoot, he got a little oomph about him. You know, the man came up out of him. Right? Mm-hmm. Then he knocked you out. Boom, with the fist now. He don't just slap you. Here's what I'm saying. If there's a man who feels like he's had power over another man for so long, he's not going to be willing to uplift him up with another hand of his.
Okay.
Meaning, he's not going to give you money. Mm-hmm. He's not going to give you states.
Right.
He's not going to give you the things that you're asking for.
Right.
Because he still feels empowered. Right? He will never let you know that you are stronger than he is for real. And he will go down in flames dying before he admits that you are stronger than he is. You have to kill him. And I ain't saying kill in the sense of literal sense. You have to kill the imagery. So much so that he can't do nothing but believe his place is beneath you. You have to switch. It has to be a role reversal in order for them to actually believe.
Right.
And you almost have to not actually ask for reparations.
Yeah, the demand.
It's going to be a demand, and it's going to be a taking of reparations.
Of course.
So much so that they're going to want to just give it to us and say, leave.
Yeah.
We'll give you reparations if you leave. In the money form, if you just leave. That's what I
believe and go where?
Go to. They're going to say, go to Africa. We'll be like, all right. Build your home over there.
You're not going to go to Africa, bro.
Bruh. I'm trying to tell
but everybody with this Africa talk, I don't believe in that Africa talk, man.
Bro, we built Africa before we built over here.
That's not our Africa, though.
It's been our Africa.
No, Africa, that was our Africa. Like, Africa's different from what it was. That's not our Africa.
Bro, I'll say this.
Those are not, genetically we're similar, Africans and us. We're genetically similar, but we are totally different otherwise. Everything else we're different from.
Here's the thing. We've always been different, but we reside from Africa. We from Africa. We just ain't from Africa, the one that you see on TV with the dialect and all of that.
Yeah.
We ain't that.
And that's not what that is anymore, bro.
Bruh, it is.
No, it's not.
But it ain't.
It ain't.
Bro, you know
it ain't whatsoever. Africa is under British rule still to this day.
Parts.
Majority. Majority.
Here's what they'll say.
If they're not under complete British rule, then why aren't we getting dual citizenship? Why are they not in control? Why are there militias that fight alongside all these different political European groups that don't have nothing to do with the African people and none of that? Why is it so much separation in Africa? If they're not under British rule, why do they need handouts from Asians? If they're not under British rule, they're under British rule. They're under European rule, man.
You want to know? Here's what I know.
Africans don't even fuck with Black Americans, by the way.
But see, here's the thing. Let's go back to that, and let's go back to the Jewish thing.
Right.
People understand God's way without question, and they will honor God's people. The reason the Jewish are set on so high is because they took our honor, and the world feeds them. Here you go. Here's all that money. Here you go. But once the world recognizes, again, that we are the true Jews, they're going to be like, you need to return back to your home front and not be in the land of your enemy.
This is our home front.
It ain't, bro.
It is.
It ain't.
We built it. We own it.
The Jewish
we built it. We own it.
In Israel right now.
We built it. We own it. America is ours.
The world is ours.
The world.
Israel is the home, though.
America
right.
is the black man's paradise.
I'm saying smile.
In waiting. You can philosophize on that all day long. Okay. But we have to deal with the now. Okay. I don't know anything about Israel right now.
I don't
know anything about Africa. I don't know right now. I know a hell of a lot about America more than I do about any of those other places.
You born and raised here.
If you're born and raised here, that's what it come down to.
Let's say
you run it. This is you. Why would I leave somewhere and totally on a whole nother side just for me? Just because I built something and you want me to leave. That's not your decision. You are an immigrant. I'm not the immigrant. You are the immigrant. I'm not the immigrant. I built this here. My forefathers built this nation, fought this nation, protected this nation. I'm not leaving.
Look,
you would leave?
I would say this. We are the only.
What you're talking about now is civil war, another civil war.
It's what's going to be.
That's a whole.
If you don't see
thing,
the rising of something else coming, like sides of taking,
right?
And we're like, wait, we getting tired of this bull junk. Y'all gonna give us what we want, or it's gonna be something else to be dealt with.
Oh yeah, I think you're starting to see you're seeing the infancy stages of it right now. I agree with you.
Would never give up another man unless he is beat down and dead.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way another kingdom is gonna fold up. America is the white man's kingdom. That's what it is, and he ain't giving up crap.
For now,
he ain't giving it up. You're going to have to beat them down to a pulp.
They're beating themselves down. They're beating themselves down.
Well, they're going to do that too.
They're beating themselves down, bro.
All
these things that happen now, these are, understand, the white supremacists on his last legs, bro. They fighting backwards.
Yeah.
They on their last legs, bro. This is not their town like that, like you think. This is ours.
I hear you.
And let's not be foolish here. White people can't afford for black people to be leaving nowhere.
Look,
why do you think Jackie Robinson was even in the major leagues?
But that's what I'm saying. In their fall,
they can't afford black people to even leave America. They can't afford that, bro.
We'll give you $2 million.
$2 million of what?
If you leave.
$2 million what per person?
Every black foundational American.
Yeah.
I'll give you $2 million. You, your kids, your spouse, a piece. If you leave.
Okay, and what to say what?
Where you going? Because you're going to take that money.
Yeah, I'm going to take the money.
Where you going?
I'm going to go.
Because it ain't going to be here.
Back to Atlanta, Georgia?
I promise you.
Or back to Connecticut or back to wherever.
I hear you.
You can't make me leave somewhere I built.
Bruh.
You can't make me leave nowhere I built. This is not your land to dictate that with.
I hear you, brother. I hear you.
Well, then we'll just have civil war.
I just told you that's what it's gonna be.
I'll take the $2 million. We build our battalions,
you know they ain't gonna be ludicrous like that to be like, all right, we're gonna give them the money and just hope they leave. Nah, we're gonna be on them ships. They're gonna be like, all right, here your money.
No, ain't gonna be no ships.
I hear you.
You get the $2 million. We leave off some. I'll tell you what. We would leave off some type of land. We go back wherever you think, Jamaica, Haiti, wherever you think. We go there. We go ahead, put and invest that money into a military, and then we go back into America and take it over. That's just how it go. There is no land that white man can exist on without the black man. Understand that. Period. Period. So they don't want us to leave, bro. That's not nothing that they want.
That's what they're gonna be fighting for.
They not gonna fight for it because that's not what they gonna want. They not gonna want that.
I hear you. That's what I believe.
I don't believe it. Now the war part, I believe.
It's gonna go down.
Them trying to push us out.
But it ain't gonna just be America. It's gonna be worldwide.
What, the war?
The war. It ain't gonna just be America, man. The Jewish people, the elite, they control this world, man.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just necessarily America. America's probably their right hand, right? That strong right hand.
I can't fight the world. We can only talk about America. Yeah. We can't fight the world.
That's what's gonna happen.
Be that as it may, whoever wins that world war is gonna have to fight regardless. Whoever, or gonna have to partner with whoever fights that. Whether black people win that civil war or not,
sure,
you're gonna have to fight whatever war comes.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You're going to have to take what comes with it. But as far as I don't think there's going to be too many people fighting along America like that. I don't think so. There'll be nations that are fighting along with it. Put it to you like this. There'll be nations that do fight for America, but then there'll be nations that fight against America because they want America gone so bad. And please believe Asia is one of those places.
Well, if they do this because they just want the power.
You feel what I'm saying? And they'll form allegiances any way they want to, any way they can. Asians are like that. They'll form allegiances anywhere. They'll give money to hey, America's not giving you reparations, black people. We'll give you reparations, but let us set up shop in America for this civil war. That's going to be a ticket. That's going to be a crossroads we come to. By the way, Asians are like that.
If you give black folks an individual out, we'll make the wrong decision.
Right.
If we come together as a community together.
And then we have to figure that out too. Like, what is our community?
And I ain't saying about like one leader and nothing like that. I'm saying as a community, we need to come together and we'll make the right decision. We'll be all right under God.
That's what I'm saying. Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing, man. This has been another great productive day for the Truth Serum podcast.
That's right.
It's my man Big Shan who came in, blessed us with the presence.
Hey, man, I'm here, brother.
Yeah, man, and it's your boy Tru Stills. You know I'm going to be back up there, man. Like I said, if you want to reply back to this podcast on what you wanted to hear, I know I had to go over Reparations 5. I'll go over that to conclude the show. But if you want to get in contact with the show and everything like that, or me on the show, and let me know what you like, what you didn't like, whatever, or what your opinions are, or whatever, hit me back at trustills50@gmail.com. Tru Stills 50 at Gmail. So that is TRUESTILLS 50 at Gmail, man. And what we're gonna do is conclude with the fifth reparations
55
law.
or 50?
50 50 50. But we're gonna conclude. Let's see. So reparations 5. So we went over. We can start from the top. I'm going to do number 1 was $500K every 10 years to the black community. Free education, daycare through college was reparations 2. Reparations 3 was our own states of sovereignty, which is Georgia, Louisiana, DMV, South California, Southern California, Jersey, Michigan, Florida, Pennsylvania, and the 2 Carolinas. Reparations 4, $1 trillion to our own military. We're going to talk about that on the next episode as well. We're going to talk about all of these in the next episode as well. And for the drum roll of number 5, full prosecution and sentencing of every officer and race soldier that has killed unlawfully black people with impunity.
There you go.
That is number 5 reparations, people. That is it. That is our conclusion for today's podcast, man. Y'all have a blessed, solid day.
Have a good one.
Yeah, and we love y'all, black people. Black people, stay up. It is the same as it was before. It ain't Black Lives Matter. It is Black Power.